So hi, I'm Adriel Sukumar. I'm currently in year 11, and I first was introduced to music when I was 4 years old. I started Carnatic singing lessons, which is like Indian classical music, so that's quite different. And a year later, I started learning the piano, and I also joined the children's choir at my local church. So throughout primary school, mostly I just played piano, but in year 3, I picked up the flute as part of our band program, which started that year as well. And then that same year, I also started playing Carnatic violin. So so in year 5, I started playing flute at church as well for the choir that I was part of, and that really helped me develop my musicality and my skills as a musician. It was around that time that I also started composing. So it first started as like noticing patterns in different pieces I play, especially in terms of harmony, and trying to harmonize the things that I hear and can play by ear. And then I started to notate some of them on paper, but that didn't end up too well. But when I was in year 7, I got introduced to notation software, which I didn't even know existed until then, through school assignments and composition tasks. And so I decided to try notating some of the ideas I had when I was in primary school. And from there, I just started to get interested in composition. So my early compositions were very simple, just 4-chord progressions and stuff. But I started getting interested in film music and orchestral music. And from there, I went to classical orchestral music as well. And when I was in high school, I also started playing organ at my church. And recently, I've been appointed organist for one of the choirs at my church for the youth group, which is pretty good, and it helps me with my musicality, and it also helps me with composition because I have to learn to play pieces really quickly, and identifying different patterns or seeing what makes the piece work also helps me learn it. So last year I entered this competition. I ended up getting a highly commended, and I came to the workshop, and my teacher was really happy with me at school, so he let me arrange it for my concert band at school and conduct it for our presentation day as official party music, which was a great experience. So that inspired me to try this year as well. So I had multiple attempts at it. I started writing a draft early in January or something, but I wasn't really happy with it when I came back to it, which was like a few weeks before the deadline. So after that I was writing multiple drafts until I finally got the one that I was happy with. And with that one, I decided to start with a time signature of 7/8, because I felt that the missing beat kind of from the normal 8 beats in a bar would help drive it forward in a way. And I decided to experiment with the Lydian mode. So I wrote an ostinato that was carried by flute and violin, and I sort of built my composition around that, and it became what it is now. So I'll just play that for you now. Yeah. So for my inspiration, I decided to choose a piece that helped me get more into classical music and late romantic music, because before hearing this piece, I was mostly just listening to film scores and stuff like that. So the piece is Rachmaninoff's Second Piano Concerto. So Rachmaninoff, hearing his music, I became really interested in it, especially as a pianist myself, and that helped me get into other romantic period composers like Mahler as well, and Stravinsky, and then as an organist, I also got into the works of Caesar Franck. So that also helped develop my compositional style. So I'm gonna play the piano concerto now. Just a few seconds. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions?